Hey there, welcome back to Cooking with Violet Vixen. We are cooking jam fancies, which is a name for a biscuit. There's not many ingredients in them, which is good. So grab all this and let's go. Okay, so we're going to set the oven to 160 and you need to have a cookie cutter, 5 centimeters. This one that I've got, I think it was close to 5 centimeters when I measured it. You also need one that does 2 centimeters. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those, so mine isn't going to have the fancy window in it. So when you make this biscuit, obviously you've got a bottom and a top. The top one's going to have a little 2 centimeter hole in it, so you can say peekaboo to the jam. So mine are not going to say peekaboo, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter. So if you've got it, good. If you don't, tough. All right, let's go. Okay, so we've got the oven set to 160. I've measured out the butter, which we need at room temperature. We probably should have got it out earlier, but I didn't. We're going to have caster sugar, half a cup, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 2/3 of a cup of plain flour, and finally 1/4 cup of strawberry jam. You can use fancy strawberry jam, or this one from Aldi's pretty good, so I just use this one. Okay, so I'm going to get the electric mixer ready because we're going to beat the butter. So, get it set up. Now, I had the beaters earlier, so they should have dried. I don't mind washing up, but I hate drying up. Okay, cool. All right, so get that ready. So when you cut up your butter, the idea is to have it cut up as small as you can. That way it's going to be quicker. So I've got my chopping board, I've got my 200 grams of butter here. It's not really at room temperature, but then it's out of the fridge, so it sort of is. You'll just find if you have it at room temperature, it will soften quicker. So, and when it's summer or close to summer, or you've got your humid days like today has been, it's a lot easier to make this as opposed to if you do this in winter. So just sort of think when it comes to times of year, obviously biscuits are at any time of year thing. No day is a good day for a biscuit or a bad day, so just make them when you're ready. But just think, if it's a bit of a colder day, get your butter out a bit earlier. Even if you get it out, go and do something for a couple of hours, then come back and start on it. All right, that is what 200 grams of chopped up butter looks like. Goodbye chopping board. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start this off. We also want to add the half a cup of caster sugar as well. While it's getting started, it's probably going to jam up a bit, so keep that in mind. So try and get your sugar in and your vanilla as quick as you can. Half a cup of caster sugar. If we're lucky, we'll have just enough in here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to open a new one. I have to open a new one. What a surprise. Okay, half a cup of caster sugar, sprinkle it in. And finally, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So the butter, cream and vanilla is nearly ready. I'm just going to sift the flour through. So this is 1 2/3 cups. Seems like a strange amount, but it is what it is. Okay, just a bit longer with the mixer because it needs to be pale and creamy. So I'm going to increase the speed a bit. Grab a butter knife and just scrape whatever's stuck on the beaters into your bowl, because you got to think that's quite a lot of batter on there. Okay. Beautiful. 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm happy enough with this. It's pale. It's not super pale, but you don't know how pale you really need it to get. It's a biscuit dough. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to add half of the flour. I really didn't want to put that back in there either, by the way. Okay. Sift half the flour over the butter. Well, I've already sifted it, so I don't need to do that. Get that set the same knife and just mix it in. Once that's all mixed in, pop the rest of that flour in. So we're making a dough now. And I realise I've got a white bowl with ingredients in it that are semi-white, so probably a bit hard to see. Alright, in goes the rest. Alright. Now, I've been trying to think of things that I can use to do a 2cm cutter, because obviously the idea of having the little 2cm cutter is so that you can have a window in some biscuits. But I can't really think of anything. I nearly thought I had a solution, but the lid off the milk that I use is 2.5 centimeters. So it's almost going to look weird because it would be too big. Okay. Oh, that's a good arm workout. Alrighty, so when that looks like that, okay, just get your hands in there, just give them a quick clean, dry them so that you don't have wet hands. What we're going to do is we're just going to bring it together. Mix it all in. Beautiful. Okay, so knead it all together. Get it into a good size portion there. And what we're going to do is we're going to divide it into 2. And then each portion we're going to roll between 2 sheets of baking paper. So let's get that baking paper. Okay, so we're going to roll 1 portion between 2 sheets of paper. This is just a tidier way of rolling pastry. Normally you do it on a floured surface. Okay, so what we're going to do is grab a baking tray, line that with baking paper. The baking paper never wants to come out when you want it to, by the way. It's near the end. I keep saying that and it just seems to leave forever. Okay. Don't need to grease it, just pop that on there. Okay. Grab that 5cm cutter. What we want to try and do is make 18 circles. Whether we will get 18 or not, I don't know, but we'll see how we go. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13. We can re-roll the rest, by the way. If they don't want to lift up, grab a knife or a spatula. I think I've had my biscuit dough out a bit too long. Okay, that one's got to be re-rolled. That's fine. Ah, there we go. Look. Okay. These are a bit fiddly. I think it's just because it's a bit warmer. This weather's crazy. And of course, with having butter in them, they are going to start melting. If you can't get them to come out, it might just be as quick to cut right around them when you're cutting it. But they really don't like me, these biscuits. There we go. Just persevere with them. This is how we do everything. We just persevere. So we're supposed to make 18. And I think we will get 18, so don't stress. There we go. There's 9. We're halfway there. So I made these because, well, I decided to make these because there's a biscuit that I brought a while ago and I really liked it. And it had the little window with the jam in it and I thought these are cute. And then when I saw the recipe, I thought, ooh, why don't I make some? It sticks to this paper. It doesn't like it. But anyway, let's just bring that all in. So we have got 12, so we only need another 4. And whatever's left we'll use for the top. So re-roll. Grab another tray because we need another tray here. Okay, whatever's left I'm going to put in with the next lot. I'll use one of my small trays. Okay, so let's just try and get this out. So 4 is pretty good because I can put these ones on the bottom shelf. Space them out nicely. The other ones, doesn't matter that there's 12 on there and only 4 on here. I wouldn't worry about making any extra. Just focus on the right amount. Okay, so get the rest of it, chuck it in with this, and whatever's in the bowl, chuck that in as well. Normally to get it out of the bowl you can just roll it around in there, but we're just going to leave it at this. Now we need 18 tops, but we're going to be putting jam in between as well. No, we're not. Oh, okay, I see. Right. We're not putting the jam in before they cook. Read your recipe, people. Okay, so what we're actually doing is we're cooking 2 lots. We're cooking 1 lot with the holes, 1 lot without the holes. Now, as I said, we don't have any with the holes. So we need another 18. Which we can cut the holes out of, but we're not going to have holes in them. So I technically need more trays. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright. So now this little tray I'm actually going to have to double up on. Although, after saying that, no, I've got to remember they don't pick up the way that they should. So I need to make another 3. Use your knife if you have to help slide them out. Okay, we need another tray. Okay, now once we have 18 and 18, if you have that 2 centimetre cutter, in 18 of them cut it out so they look like donuts. If you don't worry, they're going to look exactly the same as mine. These are going into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes, and halfway through swap them around. So we're going to put one on the top shelf, one on the bottom shelf, unless you're lucky enough to have an oven where you've only got one shelf because your oven's huge. But we'll do it this way, and once they're done we'll be back. Okay, they're out of the oven They look like this. That's some of them, not all of them, obviously, because they were on 3 trays. I'm going to spatula them onto a wire rack to cool, and then I'm going to make sandwiches. So I'll be back. Okay, so grab that 1/4 cup of strawberry jam, strawberry spread. Use a different jam if you want. Just generally strawberry jam is the remembered one for this particular recipe. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to use the teaspoon. Come in closer. So I'm going to put a dollop on each one. Try and keep it on. Okay, we're nearly done. So just put a dollop on each one. I'm going to use the back of the teaspoon to spread it rather than to grab a knife. Just a bit more. Okay, the one that's got a bit too much on it, just spread over there. Alright, so just spread that out. Imagine you're making a sandwich, because that's literally what we are doing. Spread it out. And keep in mind, if you don't really spread it out, you are going to spread it when you sandwich it anyway. Okay. Let's grab these tops. Okay, so if you're doing these the way I did them, and you don't have the 2cm cutter, what I'd suggest is you use the more well done ones on the bottom, so you've got better looking ones on the top. Sandwich them together. And just set them aside to cool for a while. I mean, they're pretty much cooled anyway, so you don't really need to worry too much about them. Biscuits do cool pretty quick anyway. Three to go. Why have I got extra? Okay. Sandwich 2 together. All right. Look at that. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Cooking with Violet Vixen. Jam fancies. Enjoy. Bye.